Scott, Eric Comrie just called your video coach
Yeah,
you
I
heard.
got wind of it. I was going to get mad he wouldn't come. I wanted him to be
Would
the
have been
guy.
great to have him at the podium here. I know it's a collective effort when you decide to challenge these things, but maybe take us through the two. Obviously, the first one, Eric and Neil, I think both had their arms up. Were you pretty confident that's coming back?
Yeah, that one we were pretty sure on because we didn't push Rantanen in. He kind of went through the blue paint and got his stick. So the second one, that's was a little trickier just because of what the score was, and we're at. I don't know if it's 1-0 game, if we're maybe going to make that call. Just because it was overturned on the ice, and those are tough ones when the referee overturns them like that. So, but I think we had enough video, saw enough that Maddie, and we decided that would be the right call.
Right. In hindsight, the first period challenge, I mean, we could say it was a pretty big turning point, right?
Sure.
Instead of chasing the game, being down a goal early, you guys get it, and then you score shortly after.
Yeah.
So big swing there.
Yeah, I mean, anytime those challenges go your way, they're boost. They boost you, and like you mentioned, if they get off and get a 1-0 lead, they're on the road and they can shut down with the best of them. And but I like the way we responded. Our second power play, scoring both those power play goals. I thought they did a great job. Like they've done most of the year. So those were big moments, and that led to that win.
And just on starting Eric tonight, was this just a case you don't want maybe Connor to have too much of a break if he had played tonight and then say not Friday going into
You
Friday?
got listening devices in my office now? No, exactly, yeah, because I don't think, there'll be some practice, but I think the U.S. starts next Thursday.
Yeah.
So had a little bit to do with it, yeah. We wanted to make sure that, Combs was going to play one of the two, just decided that we'd have Helly do the last one.
Turned out pretty well.
Now I told you who my goalie is on Friday.
Gotcha.
Nino gets the goal, and at the end of the first period, there's that shot block that everybody saw. He's also a big part of that line that's having success without Adam Lowry on it. What can you say about his performance?
Yeah, this is one of his better games. He's played some good ones, some strong ones, but I thought tonight in all areas, like you mentioned, in our end of the rink, he did a lot of good things. His wall battles, when he's really on his game, he wins those, whether it's on the breakouts or that's in the offensive side. But he had a lot of situations where he was net front, had some rebounds, had some tips, created sort of the chaos that's around there from just his big body being there. And, I think on Pionk's goal, he was the one battling on the wall that kind of helped dig that out of there. So lots of good things that you like to see from a guy like him, big power forward.
Nemestikov's line looks like it's creating more and more often, and maybe him in particular, his shifts where he takes over are more often now than a little while ago. What's changed there that's working so well?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there was a little bit of fly coming off the injury. Now they've kind of up and running, and you can tell they're in sync with each other. I really see it when they get in the offensive zone, how they make those 10-foot passes to each other, and they kind of scissor cycle, and they kind of use the three of them are fairly close together, and somehow they come out of that sort of pile up, and there's one of them going to the net all by himself, or there's somebody who gets a real good look. They feed off each other real well. I know they talk a lot, they look at video a lot, and they kind of build off of sort of stuff they've done in the past.
Just wanted to also ask about, does the top line maybe feel pressure to get Scheif that goal? Do you think that there's a bit of that?
Well, I think it just happened the other night. Like, it just happened. I don't think there's anything going down that road. I think it'll happen when it happens. Our group, I haven't seen it yet where everybody's deferring and trying to get him the puck, but I think that if we're later in the year or if it was something like that, I think that you might see it. But for now, I mean, he just tied it the other night, so we'll see how it plays out.
On the second challenge, I know that it happened sort of at a TV timeout, but how much time do you and Matt usually have to decide if you're challenging or not?
Yeah, usually not that long.
Right.
And usually there isn't a TV timeout, so I asked if I could tell them my answer at the end of the timeout. They wouldn't let me do that. But the big thing, usually it's not much more than 30 seconds. You got to make your decision pretty quick. And there are a bunch of different angles that you have to kind of look at. And that one specific, because above it wasn't really helping us.
Yeah.
The referee had mentioned that it was interference on the goalie before the puck hit the goalie, but it wasn't after we saw what we needed. We didn't know that was the call. The referee did tell us that it was goaltender interference, prior to the puck hitting the goalie, and then once we saw all the video, it wasn't. So that's how we felt pretty confident that we were going to move forward.
Coaches often say that video coaches are kind of the hidden gem of their staff, and tonight we saw that as a result. But just in general, what can you say about what someone like Matt and the video staff do for you in your job?
It's the amount of work they do behind the scenes is unreal. Him and James Cochran, all our pre-scouts, we go back sometimes 3-4 games on every opponent. So all that video has to be ready for all the different coaches, whether that's 5-on-5 or specialty teams. Our analytics department goes through them on the hockey side and then moves upstairs as well. But they, we have that stuff handed to us the next day. The amount of work those guys do is, it is yeoman's work, and they do a ton of stuff. And then you get in the pressure situations of like tonight. Those are big moments, and they're big situations, and that was really the big one for me. Like I said, if that's a 1-goal game, I'm not sure how far we go down the road on that one, and with 3 minutes to go. But those guys are good at what they do, and our success. We always talk about our family and our group. Our coaching staff isn't just the guys you see on the bench. There's a lot more of us, and Matty and James are a big part of that.
Just one last one. On the second power play unit, Cole said last game that he thought that the unit has been a bit more assertive with the way that they're attacking it. Tonight, again, there was another instance. What do you think has led to that shift there in terms of maybe how they were playing before to how that 5-man unit is playing now?
Yeah, the big thing, and they did it in Washington, is we're not just trying to get set up in the zone and then try to get a scoring chance. The first goal and then the one in Wash, we scored off the rush. We broke them down and got inside and got a great look. Obviously, Nino got a great pass. It just that our mindset is if it's a face-off, we're attacking. If it's an entry, we're trying to attack. If it's, obviously once you get set, then you're going into the sort of the sequence. But that group, they all can make plays, and that's what you're seeing. And I like the fact that their mindset is to attack, and that's what they did off that entry. And the other one was the battle on the wall. It was, Carolina is extremely aggressive, one of the most aggressive teams in the league on their PK, and that came down to a 3-against-3 battle, and we came up with the puck. I know the Orlov blocked the shot, but Pionk was ready to pounce on the next one, and that's the stuff you need to do.
You got to work hard to attack. You could see in a lot of your opposition tonight, like their body language. You guys are a frustrating team to play against. It's a grind, and you guys just quite often outwork your opponents. Nino was saying that work ethic comes from the idea that everyone's got a high standard for each other. In your time here, when did you kind of see that lock in, the idea that everyone around the room is looking to each other and saying, you got to bring more?
Well, I think it's just been building for me the last 2.5 years. It's been something that you're trying to implement. I think the buy-in from everybody, that everybody plays the same way when we don't have the puck. Everybody tries to do a lot of that. I mean, skill set's different for everyone, but we try to do a lot of the similar things. Our D-zone, how we play without our puck, there is no one way for one group, another way for another. That's the buy-in part that happens from everybody. It just seems that tonight for that game, that first period again was another real solid first period, and I agree with you. I think we frustrated them a little bit. We got them on their heels. We got playing fast against them. The second period, they did turn it a little bit, and they got after us, and we got stuck in our end. But I really loved our third. I think we had the chances in the third were 6-1 for us, and that's what I like to see. That's the mentality of us taking it to teams, playing Jet hockey, and that's the buy-in, everybody doing it. When we do it, we get results from different lines. We get results, from different defensemen, and that's our success comes from our team game.
Yeah, the way you defend. It's hard areas all over the ice for your opposition. On your wall, it says embrace hard areas. And I do notice from night to night, even when you're playing fairly good teams, it's almost like you can feel they're not as interested in grinding against that as your guys seem to be very interested in getting into that grind. How did you get them in the mindset to embrace hard areas the way it looks like you've got
I think that's just doing it and having success, showing it, talking about it, repeating it. We've been doing it since game one. It's hard to play a 60-minute game that way. You're going to have your ups and downs, but when you do, you do all those right things, it leads to the offense, and then we've been able to score, and that is really us getting out and ahead on teams. And then they have to really try to get through us, and that's kind of the whole idea behind things is we want to be frustrating to play against. And, like I mentioned, you can't do it all 60 minutes. It's hard to do. But at the end of the day, if you can frustrate teams enough, they'll make a mistake. They'll turn them, at the wrong time, and that's when you capitalize on them. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.